Messi! Messi!
Gonna heave one is
That pick and Pat Garrity.
Hi ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jacob Rudner here alongside Noah Cameras and Ariel Putterman, and welcome back to this week's episode of dTSPN. Before we get started again, I want to say welcome to our newest followers on Instagram. It's a trend we want to keep going where the followers are going up. We hope you guys are enjoying what we're posting on there, and if you ever want to see something posted, definitely let us know and we'll make sure to get that seen. This week on dTSPN, we are going to be doing what we do best, and that is create a mock draft. This time for the NBA, it's our first of the year. Following the NBA lottery, which happened this past Tuesday night, the Celtics grabbed the first overall pick, followed by the Lakers and then the 76ers. So we're going to go through the first 10 picks, and we are going to decide who's going to go where and to what team. So starting first overall, we have the Celtics. Who are they going to take and why?
So they're going to take Markelle Fultz out of Washington. He's a point guard. Now the Celtics, they're in an unusual situation for a first overall pick. Usually that goes to the worst team in the league, but since they made a great trip, the Nets a couple of years ago, that's their situation. So I think that Markelle Fultz, he's a three-way scorer. He can score from deep, he can drive, and he can shoot that mid-range. And I think that he's easily the best player in this draft, and that's who they take.
Moving on to the Lakers, especially because we don't have a lot to talk about Fultz. He's such a great player. We go to another guy who made a name for himself this year in college basketball, and if it wasn't him, it was his father who did a lot of the name making. So now we have Lonzo Ball, point guard from UCLA, going to the Lakers. Tell us a little bit about him.
Yes, Lonzo Ball is a great point guard. He's a really good playmaker. He has an unorthodox shot, but it goes in. And for UCLA, he was able to create for them. He could score himself. He's a great passer. And like you said about his dad made a name for him with the big baller brand, the brand they made. His dad talks a lot, which some people thought would affect him, but the Lakers love him. He loves the Lakers. It's a perfect match.
So something I want to talk about really quickly is that does the father's talking and does the big baller brand and the drama off the court, should that have an effect on him in his career, and do you think it's going to play out for him in a negative way after his career gets started?
I hope that he'll be able to deal with it. I think his dad knows his son will be able to deal with it, and his two sons later that will be coming to the NBA soon, probably. So I think Lonzo will be able to deal with it. I hope for his sake he can, because his dad's doing a lot of talking and Lonzo's going to have to back it up, but I think Lonzo's a good enough player he'll be able to deal with it.
Moving on, we have the third overall pick. This one to the 76ers, and we have them taking a guard out of Kansas. Tell us a little bit about him.
So our pick is Josh Jackson. He's a small forward shooting guard. And usually 76ers look at big guys in the draft. This is the first year they're actually going to go small in a while. I think Josh Jackson's easily the best pick here. They need that shooting guard. They didn't have anyone last year, and he's really going to help their team.
Moving on, we have the fourth overall pick, this one to the Suns, and they're going to go with somebody from Duke. Who is it going to be?
So they're going to take Jason Tatum, the small forward out of Duke. Now, Jason Tatum had some injury issues this year, and it's also a very stacked Duke team, so he didn't get as much he didn't give as much as a good example for the NBA teams what he will be, but I think he has a lot of potential. He has good defense, he can shoot, and I think he's a great player to have, and the Suns, who are filled with guards, can use a small forward like Jason Tatum.
Now we have the fifth overall pick, this one to the Sacramento Kings, and we have them taking somebody who I am a huge fan of, so you and I will get into a little bit onto this one. Who are they going to go with and why, and then we'll talk about it.
They're going to take a point guard out of Kentucky, De'Aaron Fox. Now, he's one of the fastest point guards I've ever seen. He's got a tremendous speed. He can score from all around, and he helped Kentucky into a great season last year. I think he's a perfect fit on the Kings. Him and Buddy Hield are going to pair really well together in that backcourt and could be one of the best backcourt options in a couple of years.
Do you think that he's going to be able to really help this team improve from where they were last year? I mean, that they were a fine team. They did not play so well, but they don't have Boogie anymore. It's a different team now. They're definitely in more of a rebuild phase. Is this the right move to do that, or is he actually going to win games for them?
I don't think they're going to win games yet. They just don't have the team yet. By trading DeMarcus Cousins, they really lost their only star player. But give Buddy Hield and De'Aaron Fox a couple of years. Willie Cauley-Stein showed him how good he could be in the end of last season. I think they could be a good team in a couple of years.
Now we have the Magic going with a teammate of De'Aaron Fox. Who are they taking?
Yeah, so they're going to take Malik Monk, who's a shooting guard. Him and Fox played really well together at Kentucky. And Malik Monk, he's a great scorer, and the Magic are a team with a lot of big men. They have Aaron Gordon, they have Bismack Biyombo. They have a lot of big men, but they don't really have a very great guards. Evan Fournier is okay, but I really like Malik Monk as a scorer, and I think he'll be a really good option. And a lot of good teams now have really good shooters on their team. Malik Monk's the next great one.
Now we have the Timberwolves selecting somebody out of Arizona who actually had a pretty standout season for his position. Who is he, and what's the deal with him?
Well, it's Lauri Markkanen. He's a power forward. He's definitely the best big man in this draft. There's a couple of them that will come later, but he's the top option right now. He can shoot it from three, which is really special for a big man. But he can also drive. He can get rebounds. So I think that he's a great pick for the Timberwolves because I think that their guards are really solid, but I think that they need to improve on that.
Yeah, Lauri Markkanen, he's kind of a perfect power forward right now because right now the game is changing to a three-point shooting league. And at this point, Karl-Anthony Towns, Anthony Davis, the big men need to shoot threes. And Lauri Markkanen is another example. A lot of people have compared him to Dirk Nowitzki because of how he has a great shot and he can create. He's also more of like a Kristaps Porzingis. He's an international player. He went to Arizona. He has a lot of potential to be like a Dirk Nowitzki type player. He can shoot, he can pass, he can handle the ball. And I think he's going to be a great player.
And what I want to continue on you and I had that conversation a few weeks ago about how Markkanen was definitely comparable to Dirk Nowitzki. Is his game ready for the NBA? Is he going to be a project? You know, he went to Arizona, so he definitely had some good teams to play against in the Pac-12, but is he ready to be that Dirk Nowitzki guy on the Timberwolves?
Personally, I think any player should stay more than 1 year in college. I think it'll help their game. However, there are standout players who will be ready for the NBA game, and Markkanen is one of these players. I think he really gets the game. He's a smart player. I watched him at Arizona. I saw he really handled himself in the games, and I think his game will translate because he can shoot, he can handle the ball, and that's great for a big man. I think it will translate well.
Now moving on, we have the Knicks selecting at number 7. They're going to go with somebody out of number 8, excuse me. They're going with somebody out of NC State. Who is he?
It's Dennis Smith Jr. He's a point guard. I think the Knicks this year, they gambled on Derrick Rose. He didn't perform as well as they expected, so I think they go with Dennis Smith. He's a great scorer. He averaged about 18 points last season. He could also pass the ball. He had about 6 assists. I think it's a good help to this team, especially if they trade Carmelo and start rebuilding, because this team needs some young players, and that's who they're going to get.
Next, we go over to the Mavericks at number 9. Who are they taking and why?
So I think the Mavericks would take Lauri Markkanen if he fell to their spot to be like Dirk's predecessor. But in this case, we have Markkanen going 7 to the Timberwolves. So we have the Mavericks taking Zach Collins, who's a power forward out of Gonzaga. Now, Gonzaga had a really good team this year. They were stacked. They went all the way to the national championship game and lost. And Zach Collins was one of those players that really came out big in the tournament. He's a young player, and a lot of players at Gonzaga usually stay a few years. Zach Collins is going after a freshman year. He's a really young player, but I really like his game. He came up huge for Gonzaga in the tournament, and you show what he can do. He can score, he can rebound, he can be a really great player in the league.
Our final pick is, again, the Kings, who have the number 10 overall pick. And who are they going to take in this one?
They're going to take Jonathan Isaac out of Florida State. He's a 6'10 guy, but he doesn't really know what position he wants to play at. He's deciding between small forward, power forward, and center. But I think he'll work well in any of those positions. He's a pretty thin guy, so I think that if he builds muscle, then he'll be able to be an elite rebounder while still being able to score a lot.
Ladies and gentlemen, that does wrap it up for us this week on dTSPN. We hope you enjoyed our first mock draft for the NBA, and definitely make sure to tune in for more of those because this will not be the last one before the draft actually happens. Have a good one. Continue to follow us on social media because you will enjoy it, and we'll see you later.